Everyone in Opiloa Estate knew Joy. She was the girl who sold Puff Puff at the junction every afternoon after school. 15 years old, always smiling, always polite, even when life didn't give her a reason to be. She lived with her mother in a one-room apartment that smelled of kerosene and old rain. Her mother was a cleaner at a private school nearby, and they barely had enough. But somehow, Joy made it work, juggling school, helping her mother, and still managing to sell Puff Puff just so they could eat. But behind the smile, Joy carried something no one else could see: pain. At school, she was mocked for her torn uniform and bathroom slippers. One of her classmates, Tina, once poured Coke on her bag and laughed. "Aya, you should just drop out and fry Puff Puff forever." Joy said nothing. She just cleaned her bag, smiled, and sat in front of the class. Because she had a dream: to become a lawyer. Every night, she would sit under the single flickering bulb in their room, studying WEC past questions, her mother asleep beside her. "God, please help me make it," she would whisper. One day, something changed. A black Jeep stopped at her Puff Puff stand. The driver was a woman in her 40s, wearing a sharp suit and holding her phone like she owned the world. She bought Puff Puff and took a bite. Then she paused. "This tastes exactly like my mother's recipe," the woman said. "What's your name?" "Joy, Ma." "You made this yourself?" "Yes, Ma." The woman smiled, then took a photo of the Puff Puff and posted it on Instagram with a caption: "Best street snack in Lagos. Who is this girl?" By evening, the post had over 20,000 likes. The next day, a reporter from a local TV station came to interview Joy. Then an NGO reached out to sponsor her education. A law firm even offered her mother a job as a cleaner, with better pay and dignity. Suddenly, Joy's name was on everyone's lips. But then Tina, her old classmate, posted a video saying Joy didn't deserve the fame. "Please, she sells Puff Puff. Why are y'all acting like she invented food?" Joy saw it. For a moment, her smile faded. But then, she remembered the little girl inside her who used to pretend to argue cases with a broomstick microphone. She wiped her eyes, opened her notebook, and kept studying. 2 years later, Joy walked in. University life was everything Joy had imagined, and more. She walked the corridors of the Faculty of Law like she belonged, head held high. She joined the debate club, led student legal aid, and quickly became known across campus as that girl who rose from Puff Puff to purpose. But with the spotlight came shadows. Tina, yes, the same Tina from secondary school, was now in the same university. Her father had pulled some strings to get her admitted late. She hadn't changed much. Her clothes were expensive, her circle louder, and her envy deeper. At first, Tina ignored Joy, acting like she didn't exist. But as Joy began winning debate trophies and appearing in school bulletins, Tina's smile returned. The fake one. "Wow, Joy. You're really doing things." "Puff Puff girl turned campus star," she said one day, flipping her bone straight hair. Joy laughed it off. "We've all grown, Tina." Tina leaned in and whispered, "Not all of us. Some of us are just better at hiding who we really are." Something in her tone chilled Joy's spine. 2 weeks later, the university's disciplinary committee summoned Joy. She thought it was a mistake. But when she got there, the atmosphere was tense. On the table was a printed email. An anonymous message had been sent to the vice-chancellor accusing Joy of plagiarism, exam misconduct, and forging her scholarship documents. Joy's knees weakened. "I didn't do this," she stammered. "Someone is trying to ruin me." The dean sighed. "You have 5 days to prove your innocence, Miss Daniels. Until then, you're suspended from classes." Joy walked out of the room in a daze. Students whispered. Some believed her. Some didn't. She returned to her hostel and cried silently into her pillow. The room felt smaller than the one she shared with her mother back in the estate. She picked up her phone and tried to call the NGO that sponsored her. No answer. She texted Mrs. Peters, the woman in the Jeep who once changed her life. No reply. Someone was pulling strings from behind the scenes, and they were doing it well. That night, someone slid a folded paper under Joy's hostel door. It read, If you want the truth, meet me behind Block C by midnight. Come alone. And don't trust your roommate. Joy's heart pounded. Her roommate, Zainab, had been acting strange lately. Always online, always curious and suddenly distant. She checked the time. 11:23 p.m. She slipped on her hoodie, grabbed her phone, and tiptoed out. The hostel was quiet. The sound of crickets filled the air. The hand over her mouth tightened. Joy struggled, but the voice whispered, "Calm down. I'm not here to hurt you." The hand slowly released. She turned. It was Dapo, a quiet boy from the law library. He looked around nervously. "I sent the note," he said. "I found something about Tina." Joy's heart still pounded. "You scared me." "What are you talking about?" He held out a flash drive. "I work part-time at the IT department. Someone tried to delete your school email records. But the system logs everything. I found this. Proof Tina used her uncle's login to send that fake email about you." Joy stared at him. Proof. The very thing she needed. They met with Joy's mentor, Mrs. Peters, early the next morning. Mrs. Peters was furious, not just because of what happened, but because she had also received a threatening anonymous message saying, "Stay away from Joy or lose your job." Mrs. Peters set a plan in motion. At the next disciplinary meeting, Joy requested to present new evidence. She handed the flash drive to the panel. The video played on the projector. It showed Tina in the campus computer lab, logged into an admin portal, sending the forged email. The timestamp matched exactly. There was silence. Then whispers. Tina burst into tears. "It was a joke. I didn't mean for it to go this far." But the damage was done. The university expelled her on grounds of academic sabotage and cybercrime. Later that evening, Joy sat on a bench under a tree beside the faculty building. She felt still. Dapo sat beside her, grinning. "Told you the truth always comes out." She smiled. "Yes, but sometimes it needs help." Her phone buzzed. It was her mother. "Joy, you received a letter. From a law firm." She rushed home. Inside the envelope was a formal letter. Joy had been selected for an international scholarship in the UK. Full ride. Books, housing, everything. The NGO that once helped her had nominated her in secret. She dropped to her knees. Her mother hugged her tight. "I always told you," her mother whispered. "God didn't give you that name by mistake." At Murtala Muhammad Airport, Joy stood in a simple suit, holding her passport and a carry-on bag. Mrs. Peters was there. So was Dapo. So was her mother, crying and praying softly.